Alright, so welcome back. This is part two of like an overview, not a review, because I haven't actually put it out in the water and tested it. But this is going to be like another overview and initial impressions, and talking about why I chose this kayak over other options. First of all, price wasn't really the factor in this. It just happened to be cheaper than other options. You can get this in 9.5 length or 10.5 length. The 9.5 is 39 pounds, and the 10.5 I believe is 47 pounds. So 47, 46 pounds, something like that. I think it's like 7 or 8 pounds more heavier. Anyway, and you can get them about the same price. Nevertheless, it's up to you. So this is me actually sitting in it. I've adjusted the foot pegs. This is the paddle. This is the universal paddle from Perception. I got off Amazon. I don't remember how much I paid for it. One thing you want to do with the paddle, the length, you want to figure out what size you need. You don't want too big a one or too small a one. This part here that scoops down, that needs to be facing back this way. You kind of want to create something like this. You want to have like this, and you want to kind of use your waist for paddling. So that just gives you a general idea how that works. Anyways, so I want to do a comparison, not a comparison between kayaks right now. For example, when I was on the Greenbrier, I was using one of those fishing pontoons. Well, first of all, I mentioned that it was heavier. It was. Whereas this is lighter. Okay? It's stable enough. It's not in the water, so that's yet to be assessed, but it should be pretty stable. Additionally, with those fishing pontoons, another issue with that was you have one paddle here and one paddle here. So you're pushing against the water with one hand here, and you're pushing against the water with one hand here. You're doing double, so you're putting a lot more work in. And that pontoon, it's not going to cut through the water as fast. So this is, compared to that, is going to be much more efficient. It's lighter weight. It's one solid piece. You don't have to pump up the pontoons, and it should last longer. Those last pretty good while. Those pontoons are like 13 years old, 15 years old. They're pretty old. They've been out for a while. But I did look at some of those, and they were more expensive than this. So I wasn't going to necessarily get one of those. It had issues that I'd run into on the Greenbrier, but this is kind of for a different purpose. So back to the overview. This kayak is, I plan on using it for multiple purposes: recreational, light fishing, what it's really designed for too, the rod holders, and bow hunting. But bow hunting is kind of one of the main reasons I got it, to get into the areas that I hunt, and there's probably good fishing there. I've never fished there. I'm sure there is. But anyway, I'll go over that part later. That's kind of a a separate video to give you a general idea of the environment I'm talking about. I got in here, I adjusted the foot pegs, which is another thing. This has adjustable foot pegs that helps for paddling. I'm probably still gonna have to do some tweaks. I just got a general, feels about right. This seat, it adjusts, but I'm working on adjusting it to suit my needs. It's a little loud, which is another thing. It's fine probably for recreational and maybe fishing. It's not real loud, but when I'm bow hunting, I want to get in quietly. So that's something I'm going to have to address and deal with. I'm going to have to make some tweaks. This does conveniently have a place to put your paddle. A lot of people just put them closer to them like this, and it's fishing. It's not an issue, but it does have a place here in case you want it out of your way, which I can see that being the case too. Some things I'm pretty sure that I'll probably do to it is put some kind of sound dampening material. It doesn't have to be real thick, just something that when I'm getting in and out of it, and something here to where you don't hear that. Something that's going to be quieter, stealthier for bow hunting. So that I will see. The collar is not a big issue. Deer don't see in the same collars as people do, so that's not a big issue. I could wrap it in camo. I could put a camo net over it, which I might do, or you can camo paint it, which I don't really want to do that because I like it as it is. Just for deer hunting, it's not that big of an issue. It does have these side padded here for your knees. It doesn't have bulkheads, as I mentioned in my other video, which helps with buoyancy, but at the same time, it's not critical for this. It would help. Some kayaks do have them, like the Wilderness Systems Pongo model. They have a 10 foot and a 12 foot. It has instead of an open mic storage, several holes, it has an enclosed storage, and it acts as a bulkhead. Only in the rear, it don't have it in the front. Usually your longer, more premium kayaks will have bulkheads on them. It's not absolutely necessary on a kayak like this. I've seen this kayak for sale some places for $400 and some, but you gotta take in shipping. Sometimes they get you with $100 and some in shipping or more. So if you can get one in person somewhere for $400 or $500, you do better. I got this from Amazon. It was $5.99. For some reason, initially I thought it was $4.99, but you probably can get it for $4.99 if it interests you. They have them in different colors. They have one that's called Mesa Camo, which is like a dark green and light green. And if you want one a little longer, if you think you'd like one, they got a 10.5 like I mentioned for about the same price. I mean, there's, actually I've seen one for cheaper than this one, just the way it is. I think Shields, that place I went, they even have the 10.5 for like, it's on sale, marked down, which this time of the year makes sense. They would mark it down near the end of the summer. But I mean, it would have been beneficial to have it earlier, but I hadn't really decided to get one. And I mean, I've been looking at them for a few years, so I've looked at quite a few. Even the most expensive ones, if I really wanted to, I could get it. They don't serve my purposes. There's a few that's in this weight range, which is what I wanted, something lightweight for pulling and stuff through the sloughs. Thrown up on my car, which I got the rail rack system for hauling kayaks, and I'll go over that and show that to you. And I might put it on today, I don't know. But yeah, and I believe these are myself doing some customizations to this, like this sound with the seat. It doesn't really feel uncomfortable, but I haven't sit in it for a few hours, so I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it. Plus, there's things you can do. But this sound back here, it seems alright as far as comfort. Not extremely comfortable, but it seems okay. I'll have to work with that. I do have a life vest. I got one off Amazon. I don't think $27. But it's U.S. Coast Guard approved. But I might get a different one that's better for paddling. But you don't even have to have them on in Wisconsin. You just have to have it with you and accessible. I can put it right here or wherever I want it to. But yeah, I'll have to check with putting my boots on, the onion or something, see how that works. But I'll probably put some type of sound dampening in the areas, especially the seat, to make it quieter. Because when you're out in the field and you're hunting, you don't want to make a lot of noise, even on a kayak. I have 3 lights for it, because if you are kayaking around sunset or sunrise and at night, you need to have some kind of lights with you. I think Wisconsin does require that. They don't require you to register it if it's under 12 foot and if it doesn't have a motor. Yeah, but I got those from Amazon. They're just like little LEDs, a green one, red one, maybe a white one. I don't know. But you can put it there, one here, one back there, and maybe get you a little LED light or something mounted somewhere. Which is another thing, I'm looking to mount my bow here somehow, or fasten it to where it's accessible. Like I said, in case I see a deer, I can grab it, and I'll practice setting down so that in the event that happens, because it can, I'll be ready for that. They do have a cover that comes back to about this far, or however far. If you want to, if you want a cover here, in case when you paddle, you see these here. This isn't for your hands. This is so that water doesn't drip down on you. It stops here. That's what that's for. So and when you stroke, that's the thing, like I mentioned before about tracking. When you do a stroke like this, for example, you don't want the kayak to go this way, and then when you stroke this way, you don't want it to kick that way. You kind of want it to stay straight. It may not be enough to make an issue or be an issue, but that's one thing we'll have to evaluate. And we can look into what we can do about that. I can. These rod holders, they're not real deep. I guess it depends on the rod. But I did see where people take different sizes of PVC, put the one in here, and then glue the other one on, like that cement for PVC piping, and stick it out a little farther. So there's remedies like that. It's not an issue. 2 rods would be enough for me. This isn't a big fishing kayak where you have a whole bunch of fishing rods. I don't see much use of that. You put your tackle here or whatever. Where I plan on taking this kayak, I may get me a Garmin GPS and mount it right here. Maybe I could see that being pretty useful in a situation like that. But we'll see. I don't want to weigh it down with too much. Which I didn't mention it, or I did mention that I'd talk about it. And since I'm using this for deer hunting, with my weight and a little bit of gear and stuff I take with me, I'm not going to be able to do all that and a deer here too, however I would put it on here. It's not really rated for that much weight. I could put it in here and drag it, the kayak with it in here, put it in the water and walk along the bank or whatever, potentially, theoretically. But that's not what I plan on doing. I plan on either getting another kayak that I could put the deer on and tow it. And when you tow it, you don't tie it to the kayak. You can get a belt. You can get a like a sled pulling harness, for fitness. And you put a rope here. You hook it to you and to the kayak, and you tow that way. Which I have an inflatable raft, only like $22, $25 from Amazon. I might use that. I can roll that up, get me a little portable pump, put it in here, back here, and if I need it, inflate it, and I just put the deer on that and it'll keep it afloat, and I can tow it out that way. Kayak probably be better than the raft, but that's kind of one of those things, you cross that bridge when you get to it. But I just want to do like a part 2 of this. It's not a review of the kayak. I don't have a lot of kayaks. I don't have any kayaks to compare it to. It's my first kayak. But I may need to put my weight more up front. I don't know. We'll have to see. But so far, I don't know. But so far it seems fine. Stability is not an issue for me. The weight's great. The build quality's good. The overall design is pretty good. But the seat issues aren't a big problem because there's all kinds of seat options. You can remedy that. But the molding itself is pretty good. We'll see how well it cuts through the water. It's not going to be in a lot of rough water on a big lake where you have higher waves, choppy water, stuff like that. It's going to be in more still areas, so it should be fine. We'll see what we do with that. Like I mentioned, there's a video, you can Google it, Perception Sound 9.5 trolling motor. A guy did mount one on the back, so small trolling motor will work on this. So it can be done. It has been done. If you wanted to, I don't really plan on it, but if I want to, I could. I still don't really know what this is for. Maybe just a drink, But that'll probably conclude it for this brief video. If anything else comes up, I'll let you know.